Hi guys, I'm Isa, and today we're going to be continuing our PHP tutorial. So today we're doing about the basic PHP tags. So the first thing we're going to learn about is this PHP opening and closing tag. So it's just a question mark and then PHP. And you can close it by go question mark and the code for there, and then this closing bracket. So you can put PHP code in it. So you can put PHP code like this echo used to print text. So you can just write the function. Right? You can just write echo, and then you put a space. Then these two quotation marks, since you're doing was text and the text you want. This underlined, and PHP always ends with semicolons. So I'm going to make a tag by making these two forward slashes. I'm going to say arrays in PHP. So tags don't affect any of your code. So to make an array, since we're declaring a variable, use the $. So I'm going to name it numbers. So we're going to set it equal to. So I'm doing this array. So you have to write array, then these two brackets, these two parentheses. So I'm going to say 5, 8, 2, 5, 4, 9, 8. So you separate items in arrays with commas. And we're gonna have as many values as you want. So I'm going to do echo to print it out. I'm going to say echo, and then the $, numbers. It's going to print out the numbers variable. Reload it. It shows an error. It says array to string conversion because echo only prints strings or integers, or also integers or numbers, because echo can only print strings or ints or booleans. So instead we can print an item of the array by using these two square brackets. So the first item of an array is represented by 0. So if we say echo number 0, it's going to say 5, because 5 was the first item of the array. So do echo numbers 8. So if we do echo numbers 8, it's going to say 1, and this one was the last item of the array. So the access item of an array, and just do that number -1. So if we want to do 4 is the 5th item of the array. So we have to do that number -1. So 4. That's what it's going to say. So we can store that in a variable, in another variable. I'll just say number. We'll call it number index. I'm going to say equal to 2. I mean 3. So we're going to echo numbers, then number index. So for index, and I'm going to say -1. So I'm going to say -1. So since we said 3, it means the third item of the numbers array. So, but we did echo numbers. But if we just did echo numbers number index, it's going to say 8, since actually it's going to say 0, since the first item is 0. The first item is represented by 0. So since we minused it by 1, we're going to do the third item, which is 2. So So that's how arrays work. And I'm going to make a new tag, which is going to say string arrays. So string arrays are just arrays with number. I'm going to rename this variable named number index to arr index, so array index. So I'm just going to we're going to make a new array. I'm going to name it strings equal to array string 1, string 2, string 3, 4, S5, and so if I do echo, I'm going to say this is strings. Then I put this bracket. They are index. Then we're going to say the our index variable -1. So you know what we did. So if I set the ARR index to 3, it's going to do the third item of that list. And if we set it to like 4, I'm going to do the fourth item of that list. So another thing we can do is printing HTML elements in PHP. So HTML element in PHP. So I'm going to make a print. So since it's a string, let's use these double quotation marks. I'm going to say h1, and then h1, and if I can say something, I'm going to say that soon. We can also put the h1 and slash h1 in a variable so that we won't have to write them manually. So make a variable named h1 equal to this h1 opening tag, and there's a variable named as h1. That means ch1, which means closing h1. Make it equal to the closing h1. So we're going to replace the h1 and the h1 with the variables. So now that we did I have to put a space between the opening h1 and the closing h1 so that it's going to know that's a string. So so I'm going to write the number is, then colon, and then I'm going to strings, then I'm going to put in this ARR index -1. Well, we can't really do a minus since it's like that. Since it's a string, so I can just store it in a new variable. So I'm going to name it ARR-IND, which is short for index. Set it equal to ARR index -1. We can use that ARR-IND variable instead. When the key or end with this $sign, it's a variable. It says, I'm just changing this thing that says number to text. So the text is str4. So the last thing we're going to learn about is if statements. So let me just tag this out. Just tag all of these out. Touch with the h1 and close the h1. So if statements in PHP. So if statement, we have to write if, then these two parentheses to specify the condition. So let's say we have a variable. It's going to be called is male. Let's set equal to true. And let's say if is male equals to true. Or instead of just doing equals to true, we're gonna just write is male. So that if we just write a variable, name it an if statement, that means if that variable is equal to true, and just say echo true. So it says true. So you can also just put this true in a H1. So I'm going to use those variables that we made. Now to H1. So I have these tabs, which are the operators in if statements. If you put equal to equals, that means it's equal to. If you put exclamation mark equals, it means it's not equal to. If you put the less than, it means less than. Greater than means greater than. So if we make the is male to equal to false, it says nothing. If we wanted to do something, if it doesn't meet that condition, we're going to do else. So else echo false. So I'm also going to put this in the H1, and close on H1. Then the line is a semicolon there. So that's false, since it's false. So the last thing we're going to learn is about constants in PHP. And to make a constant variable, because a constant variable is a variable that can't change, we use the define keyword to make a constant variable. And also just tag this out. So that's the name of the variable. I would just say, because also constants usually start with capitals, or usually all capital letters. So I'll put them in lowercase letters if you want, but just make them to be capital. You want to do a comma and then a value. So we're going to be its value. We just do an echo of this variable. It says that. And there are also case, not case sensitive ones. So if we just write the name in lowercase letters, it says undefined constant name. Because we didn't write it in capital letters, those got to be in capital letters. So anyways, that's the end of today's tutorial. If you enjoyed, then leave a like and subscribe. So bye. Hi guys, I am Isa. Today I'm going to learn how to interact with HTML elements using PHP. So in my index.html file, I'm going to make a div. The div is going to have the class of container. Inside of it, I'm going to make a form. The form action is equal to app app.php. But I have this blank file called app.php. So once I have the app.php, so I'm going to write name, and write username, then input type text, and a name of UN, which means username. So the reason we have to add a name is because that's what we're going to be using in the PHP. I'm going to say email. I'm going to put an input, a type of text, and the name of EM, password. Say the password. I'm going to say H. Okay. Input type text, name is equal to AG. So after the div class container, I'm going to write create account, and then a BR. Now I have all of these. If we want our form to be able to interact with PHP, we have to add a method that goes to get. I'm going to get the information out of it. So I'm done. Input type submit. That's going to be what we're going to use to submit it. So now I'm going to go to our app.php. If we're writing any PHP code, we need our PHP opening and closing tags. PHP opening tag, and then the closing tag. Inside of it, I'm going to say I'm going to the variable user name equal to, so, and then $sign in the underscore get in capital letters. Then use these brackets to access the item of it. So index.html, we gave a name of UN. So let's say UN. Let's say echo username. So now if we enter in the username and press submit, it says the username we entered, and just go back. Instead of just username, I'm going to just put in a string quotation marks in here. Okay, H1, then go to H1. I'm going to say username. I'm going to say welcome, and then the username. Yeah, for the submit query, it says that I'm gonna do the same for the email and age. I'm gonna say email equals to that EM. I'm just going to change this age to input type number. Okay, so I'm going to say age equal to get AG. I'm going to copy this and paste it 2 times. This one's going to say H2, and this one's going to be H3. Right here, it's going to say for email, and then the email variable. So, in here, I'm going to say age, the age variable. Now, if I enter an email, so if I enter a username, then an email, I'm going to say email, and then an age, and press the submit query button. It shows all of these, so I can go. I'm going to put the submit query, the URL, in these places. You'll see the variables that you declared. So UN, the username. So if I edit it, I'm just gonna write them. It's going to press enter. It's going to edit it here. We can do the same thing for the email and the age. Anyways, that's all the PHP and HTML. Now let's style it. So it's all .css. I'm going to say container. This is the container. Okay, background blue, font family. Okay, the font family. Okay, so we'll go back. So I'm going to give it a padding 20 px, border radius of 50 px, and we're changing this padding to 50 px. Now if HTML turn it into that. But in the app.php, if you want to link the CSS to it, then I'm going to copy the linking CSS in the index.html, paste it here. And I'm also going to put this in a div. I'm going to put this in a div, the class of container. Now in here, it does the styling as well. Now, just say color black. I'm going to say input. So I'm going to say padding 15 px, 10 px. If I go back here, input has increased. I'm going to say display block, and draw on separate lines. And here I'm going to say font size 2em, so double the font size. I'm going to say font size 2em input. I'm going to use the font size. I'm going to say 5px. Yeah. And then here I'm going to say let's fit content. That's what has decreased. Now if we press the submit query here, we'll not be able to get back, so we'll just change this color to white. What's my app.php? Say echo. Just say an A. I mean the link. only f equals to back is equal to index.html is back. Then I'm going to write back in here. And my style.css. I'm going to style the A color of gray. And look at the submit query. This button that says back, if we click on it, we'll go back to where we were. So anyways, that's the end to this tutorial. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. So bye. Hi guys, I am Isa, and today we're going to learn how to use checkboxes in PHP. So anyways, first thing we need is a normal HTML document. Inside of the body, I'm going to make a form. Let's say form action equals index.php and method is equals to post. So anyways, I'm going to add a button, the type of submit. Actually, it's going to be an input for the type submit. Now we have the submit query button. So we're also going to add a checkbox. I'm going to say input and checkbox, and its name is going to be fruits. And I'm going to put these two brackets because the fruits variable is going to be a list. I'm going to say value. To say value is equal to apple. I'm going to copy it 3 times, and it's going to change their values. Now we have these because we need text for them. Let's say, oh, no, actually, I'm going to make a label. I'm just say label for apple. I'm going to say apple. I'm going to add a BR onto the end of all of these. I'm going to copy the label. Now, if we reload it, let's see that we have these. So now I'm going to add the PHP. I'm sorry, I want to say fruits, and I'm going to have these two square brackets since it's an array. It's equal to host. I'll just say apple. Actually, I'm going to say fruits. So now we have this. So I'm going to say echo fruits 0. We're going to echo the first item of the fruits. I'm going to remove these. So if I use that, it's going to say the one that you selected. So now if I choose 2, it's going to say the first one that you selected. Yeah, so now it works. Now we can add some styling to it. So I want to put a style element in the head. So I'm going to say font background blue, the color white. I'm going to say padding 20 px, border radius 20 px. I'm also going to change the font family. We're going to set the font size. Now it's like that. I'm also going to say label user select none. So you can't select any of the labels. Now in here, I'm going to say echo fruit 0 plus BR. Actually, I'm going to echo BR plus fruit 0. So I'm just going to put a BR behind the PHP elements. So now there's the BR before all what comes inside of the PHP. So now now I'm going to use checkbox in PHP. So that's me on today's tutorial. If you enjoyed, so leave a like and subscribe. So bye.